I improve my public speaking skills as well as my presentation skills? And what would that do for my career or my ability to achieve my goals? This is a question we're going to answer today. This, yes, is one of the top 15 to 20 questions that we got from Google that says high achievers like yourself are looking to know the answers to. So again, how can I improve my public speaking and presentation skills? We're going to get right into it. Public speaking is one of the most transformative skills. It says a lot about a person. It's personal, it's professional. It can help you grow in both of those arenas. And communicating effectively is always in order and is always something that can help you to achieve your goals. Communication. So whether you're heading to a meeting, you're leading or facilitating a meeting, you're presenting at that meeting, you are a professor or you're getting into academia in terms of teaching, whether you want to just share your story. Maybe you're an author and you've written a book and you want to share that with a particular audience. Your ability to communicate with confidence and with clarity is paramount. It's going to set you apart from your competition, and it's going to make you very effective. It's going to help you to reach your goals. So we're going to do today in this episode, we're going to dive into what makes an effective speaker. Two, how you can improve your skills as it relates to public speaking and presenting. You're going to learn how to structure very compelling messages. Because that really is what your audience is looking for. That's what's going to get your audience attention. Going to talk about how to overcome fear, because so many people have such trepidation when it comes to speaking in front of crowds, large or small. And then we're going to captivate our audience. How do we captivate our audience? There's going to be a 7-day challenge. We're going to offer that to you. At the end, you'll be able to link out to that and grab that 7-day challenge and help you to get to where you want to be as it relates to public speaking and your goals. So let's jump right into it. Here we go. Transformative power of public speaking. The transformative power of public speaking in terms of achieving your goals. So you got to decide, what are your goals, number one? And it really doesn't matter what arena this is in. So we usually talk about the top 4, which are relationships, career, health, and also entrepreneurship. I think good communication is going to benefit you all the way around. It is a skill set, a soft skill set that you will need throughout your lifetime. And I think the more proficient you become in communication, be it one-on-one or like what we're talking about today, which is public speaking, I think the more helpful those skills will be to you. So, first of all, public speaking is just not about delivering a speech, okay? It's not about getting up in front of someone and reading off of, and listen, this is one of my pet peeves. When folks get up and they have illustrations, i.e. PowerPoints or something of that nature, and they read to us what's currently on the screen, I quickly lose my patience for that particular person. I have run conferences in the past, 300, 400, 500 attendees, and I've had to organize speakers. And one of the first things I request of people is when we're doing our breakout sessions, please, please, please be familiar enough with your content that you do not read to your audience what is on your presentation. Why? Because you should know what it is, and you should be able to convey it to them with a level of confidence. Now, the presentation is there in terms of illustration and particularly graphics to help you keep their attention. It is not a book for you to read to them out loud. So let's just keep that in mind. So first of all, public speaking is not just about delivering a speech. It's a getaway to personal and professional growth. That means it can help you to transform your life. So mastering public speaking, for example, is about learning to express your ideas clearly and confidently. It's about learning how to inspire others and how to build authentic connections. These skills are very vital. They're vital in achieving your goals because they position you as a confident leader, a persuasive communicator, and a relatable individual. a relatable individual. A lot of time, just think about the conferences that you've attended. Think about even, in school, professors that were that you tend to like more than others. I guarantee you somewhere in there, they're probably, their personality, but also they're probably a really good communicator or someone that you found as good in terms of communicating to you. You found their communication style very effective. How does public speaking transform your life? These are the benefits to what we're going to talk about today. But before I get into that, here's what I want to do. I want to welcome, first of all, everybody that's listening to the podcast. Thank you so much for joining me today, particularly first timers. If this is your first time, please go ahead and subscribe to the podcast so you don't forget who we are and where we are. And listen, this is the last month in 2024. This is our fourth season. That means you are 3 3/4 of a season behind. So you got a lot of catching up to do, and no better time to do it than the holidays. Holidays are coming up, so you can binge a lot of Rethink podcasts. Please, please, please go ahead and share, like, and subscribe. Share with your family, friends, loved ones, and associates, and we'll continue to be very, very grateful for that. Don't forget to check out our link in the show notes. And if you don't see the link, please shoot me a text message and let me know. For some reason, our platform sometimes doesn't carry over the actual links. So we have to go back and double check when they're there, make sure that they're there. But I'm also going to put it in our show summary, which is kind of the description of what the show's about, just to make sure it's in multiple places so you guys can see it. But that one link can take you to anywhere you want to go in terms of communicating with the podcast, buying, some products like, Gratitude Journal or digital products that we do offer, or our courses, 31 Days to New Beginning. A lot of you have purchased our course. Thank you for doing that. 31 Days to New Beginning is on that link as well. And on this particular show, as in the past, we are going to offer a digital download. And I told you guys at some point that's going to be only offered to our Patreon audience. So this is going to be the last week. And this is the first week in December, so I'm not sure when you're actually listening to this. But if it's past the first week in December, you missed the cutoff because we are only offering after the first week in December to our Patreon group. So all of these digital downloads will be available to our Patreon group or a subscription service on the platform side. If you do either of those and you're can go check out the folder. Now, it's not just this digital download. It's every single digital download that we've ever provided for the show. You can go in and pick and choose. Have at it. Go for it. It's one big folder. All right, so let's get back to it. Our goal for the day is to help folks who have some sort of trepidation around public speaking and presenting. So the question is, how can I improve my public speaking and presentation skills? And we're in the area of benefit. And the first benefit is that it's going to boost your confidence. And boy, will it boost your confidence for you to be able to communicate in an effective way to your audience, to your peers, to your subordinates, or to those that you work for. Is going to really give you a lot of confidence, and also is going to set you apart. The act of standing up before an audience and sharing your ideas builds self-assurance. It really does. Think of yourself, if you're a salesperson or if you are an entrepreneur and you are someone who has created a product or a service and you're trying to communicate that to your stakeholders, to your potential clients, how awesome of a talent this can be to help you to get the sales that you need, the support that you need. So every successful presentation reinforces your belief in your abilities, empowering you to tackle other challenges with poise. So not only can public speaking help you as it relates to your job, career, entrepreneurship, and yes, relationship as well, but it has what I'm going to call peripheral types of benefits. In other words, it has other benefits as well. Once you can begin to build the confidence in your public speaking, you're going to sense that in other areas of your life, once you reinforce your self-confidence, it can really reinforce some your belief in your abilities in other areas as well. So the second benefit is that it enhances your influence. So whether you're pitching a business idea, whether you're advocating for a change or you're motivating a team, the ability to articulate your thoughts persuasively, it allows you to inspire action. So public speaking enables you to share your vision and rally others to support your goals. That is massively important. If you're someone that's looking to go into some sort of political arena, or if you're looking to be a manager or director or a VP or some role where folks are going to look to you for guidance, confidence, particularly in the way that you communicate, is going to be imperative. So public speaking is one of those things that's going to help you to enhance your influence. Third is expands opportunities. Strong communication skills, they open doors in every sphere of your life. Career advancement, networking, personal relationships, and more. Being an effective speaker sets you apart in job interviews, in professional settings, and certainly in social settings as well. It makes you the go-to person for leadership. I can attest to that. Number 4 is that it strengthens clarity and focus. Preparing and delivering a speech requires you to distill your thoughts into a clear, concise, and impactful message. This process sharpens your focus and it helps you to define your goals, and it ensures that you have a clear roadmap to achieving whatever your goals are. So number 4 is it strengthens clarity and focus. And then last, it builds resilience. Facing the fear of public speaking and conquering it builds emotional resilience. Each time that you deliver a talk, for example, you strengthen your ability to handle pressure. It strengthens your ability to adapt to unforeseen changes, and you thrive under scrutiny. This qualifies you in terms of that long-term achievement type of goal setting. So those are the benefits of why you would want to have strong presentation and public speaking skills. But let's talk now about how do we actually obtain them, Kelly? How do we actually obtain them? And one of the things that we always do here, we talk about daily practices, because we understand that habits become our daily ritual, and as our rituals are strengthened, our beliefs are strengthened, it becomes our character and who we are. But it must begin at the low level of a habit. So what can we do in terms of practices every day that can help us to become better speakers and to become better presenters? First thing is our breathing practices. So let's talk about this. I remember when I first started in college giving public speeches and having to talk in front of my college, classmates. I think that really probably is what was the turning tide for me, because I'm relatively an introvert, or was when I was young, and having to do so many presentations for school kind of broke me out of that. Because if you were, then you were just not going to do well in school. Every single class I had, for the most part, had a public speaking piece, and I know that was by design. I'm a business major, and a lot of times I'm talking to clients, I'm talking to associates or people within the company in order to get anything done. And you've got to be able to communicate, your ideas, your desires, and, in terms of operations, what is it that you'd like to see happen so that you can get the end result that you want to achieve? So mindful breathing practice, and what I was going to is that I know a lot of people, particularly when I was in college, had that trepidation about public speaking. I didn't know then what I know now in terms of breathing practices. There are so many different breathing practices that you can utilize, put in your toolkit, to be able to help calm your nerves before you speak. So this activity, what I want you to do is perform a 2-minute mindful breathing exercise before your speaking activity. Now, I've been public speaking for a long time, and still I get a little, I won't say nervous, but it's not nervous, and antsy, not antsy. But when I get ready to speak, I want everything to go well. So I do tend to put pressure on myself. We probably all do. And I'm always sort of recalling, some of the key parts of my speeches. And so that creates some level of anxiety. So what I do is certain breathing exercise, depending on how I'm feeling. Sometimes I go up to the mic, to the stage, and I'm fine. I'm just talking and everything sort of flows. Other times when I'm really intentful and I want this to really go over well, or some sort of special event, then I'm probably more stressed than I normally am. So breathing exercises. So if you are someone who has anxiety when it comes to public speaking, breathing exercises. This is how it works. When you are able to mindful breathe, we've talked about it here on the podcast before. I'm going to talk to you about block breathing. It calms your nerves, it improves your focus, and it prepares your mind for the performance. So block breathing, what it does, it will calm your nervous system to the point where you can, focus, you can relax, and you can get into your speech. What I found, my experience, is that if you can make it through your first 3 to 5 statements, calm your breath, because sometimes you can tell people are excited because they're speaking fast and their breath is heavy and they're gasping in between sentences. If you can just calmly make it into your speech, and I call that the 3 to 5 sentences, then you can, sort of cruise along, to the rest of your presentation. But you got to get into there before you can do it. Block breathing goes like this. So if you think about a block, it's got equal sides. You can do 5 seconds, you can do 7, whatever you like. And what I would suggest you do is you inhale for that 5, hold, release, you hold for 5. So let's start over. We inhale for 5, and we hold for 5. We release for 5, and then we hold again for 5. And what the holding will do, holding your breath sort of calms your nervous system, okay? It takes your breath down. It allows you to gather yourself. It allows you to just really be in the moment, okay? And hopefully that will settle you. Now, it works, for me, and I know a number of people who have used it, and I've seen the technique used. So I'm offering that breathing. The benefit, again, it reduces your anxiety, and it does promote clarity. Okay, especially if you're really nervous. All right, so the second thing is record and review. Here's a very powerful technique. Record yourself speaking. Something you're not going to like to do, something you're going to like even less listening to and watching, but you're going to need to do it. Record yourself. 2-minute talk, 5-minute talk, it doesn't matter. Watch and critique it. If you are hands talker and it's all over the place and it's bothering you, chances are it's going to bother your audience. Critique yourself. It's better for you to make the corrections now than this being your presentation and someone say, hey, did you know you talk with your hands a lot? So it's better for you to do it now. Build self-awareness. This allows you to focus on improvement. If you are recording yourself, now I'll be very transparent, because we were doing podcasts here for the longest, for the first 3 seasons, and it wasn't until the 4th season that we started to do video on YouTube. And video recording for podcasts is very different than just sitting in my studio talking to you guys. I got very relaxed because you guys don't see me all the time, and I'm sitting and I'm talking just like you're my neighbor. And that's the way I wanted to come across. But when you can see me, I've got my notes everywhere. You can't see here, but I've got a screen over here and a screen over there and my laptop here. I've got a lot of notes, and I'm trying to look at you and maintain eye contact, but I'm also trying to refer to my notes and make sure I don't miss anything. It's a little more stressful. It's a different sort of presentation because I want to pay attention here, but I'm also making sure that I'm not giving you the wrong stats. So I've got to refer here and I've got to refer there. Okay. So being on video versus me just doing the podcast, I would also edit the video. Just like I edit the sound, I now go and edit the video. So when I'm looking at the video, I'm looking at myself and I'm hearing myself. And sometimes if this is your first time hearing and seeing yourself on video, it's a little difficult. We're all critics of ourselves. I want you to be, gracious and kind to yourself, and just know that you're not going to be perfect. Don't get so critical of what you're saying, what you're doing, to the point you can't even speak. It's not going to do anyone any good. Make small corrections, okay? Do what you can and improve. And here's the truth of it. The more you do it, the better you'll get. I assure you. When I first started doing the podcast, I was nervous doing the podcast. No one could see me. I was just talking. But I was like, why would people listen to me? And what am I going to say? And I just want to make sure I'm informative. I want to make sure I'm correct. I don't give out bad stats. That comes from preparation. If you prepared when you come before your audience, your stakeholders, potential clients, your wife, your husband, your partner, your crowd, your classmates, whoever you're speaking in front of, just make sure you're prepared. And you won't have to worry about, the data, the information. All you have to worry about is the delivery. Okay. So, point is record yourself, review, be gracious, critique yourself, make small changes. Don't upset yourself by trying to be perfect every time out. No one is perfect. And I don't care who the speaker is. You always get back to your dressing room, to your car, on the way home, on the flight, and think, I should have said this, or I should have said that. Oh, I can't believe I said this, or I said that. That's going to help you for the next time. That's why I said the more you do it, the better you'll get. So, the third thing I want you to do is get yourself a gratitude journal. Write 3 things that you're proud of related to your speaking and communication. Yeah, beef up your confidence. What are 3 things that you know you do pretty good? Write them down each day. This reinforces your positive self-talk. You want to be your biggest cheerleader. You want to give yourself a boost in terms of confidence. Don't wait for someone else to do it. Give yourself that type of boost. Now, listen, you may not do everything right, but you are doing some things right. Write it down in your journal. This is going to help you in terms of self-assurance and resilience. The fourth thing I want you to do is impromptu practices. Let's say on the weekend, that's your downtime. You hadn't planned on writing anything or presenting anything. Get up, do a public speak or record yourself. Pick a random topic, talk about it for a minute without preparation. See how it goes. If you have kids like mine, they ask you questions and you're on either trial or presenting anyway. Just pick a random topic and just go in and start talking about it. This can improve your adaptability and your spontaneity doing Q&A, because a lot of times after our public speaking, there's questions and answer period. And this can help you in unexpected situations. What it does, it enhances quick thinking and composure. So think about it that way. So number 4 is impromptu practice. Always be practicing, always be learning. And the last thing is learn from other great speakers. There are a lot of great speakers out there. We're living in one of the best, time periods ever as it relates to connectivity. We're able to see so much around the world now. It's literally you have access to everything in the palm of your hand if we really knew how to use these tools. So check out some folks on YouTube, some public speakers. Don't try to come out and be Les Brown today. It's not going to happen. Don't come out and try and be Martin Luther King today. Is not going to happen. Be you. Be the best you can be. Convey your information the best way you can. And pro tip, if you feel like you do need to network, and I believe we do, with other public speakers, there are groups. There are Facebook groups, and then there are other certified agencies around your state, your country, to be able to bring people together who have that same desire in terms of public speaking. So here, where I live in the U.S., there's a thing called Toastmasters, and I'm pretty sure it's international. But if it's not, look into what is appropriate for you. But Toastmasters is a well-known public speaking group that has emphasis on helping people to fine-tune their public speaking. While, you have an opportunity to speak, you also have an opportunity to see other people speak who speak really, really well, ask questions, and learn. Okay? Again, that's Toastmasters. Those are the daily practices that you can incorporate. I'm going to give you this is going to be a 7-day challenge. 7-day challenge is going to go through identifying your fears. Why are you afraid of public speaking? Write down your fears around that. And then we're going to talk about how we can overcome those fears. Day 2, we're going to create a short speech. Day 3, we're going to focus on our body language. Day 4, we're going to improve vocal delivery. I remember when I first started podcast, I was always like, oh my God, should the mic be closer? Should it be far away? And can people hear me breathing? And how much breathing should I do? And one time I got so paranoid that I thought, man, am I smacked? it was just all over the place. So don't be paranoid, but there's a way to improve your vocal delivery. And if you sound nasally, if you got heavy breathing, there are ways to correct these things. Day 5, share your personal story. Sharing your personal story, practicing telling that, it really makes you relatable. When you can get up on stage and you can talk to people about their pain point related to your life, that makes you relatable. And if you're selling a solution that helped you, guess what they're going to be interested in? That solution. You've automatically become relatable. Day 6, we're going to handle impromptu speaking. And then day 7, reflection and gratitude and celebration. Some takeaways from today, guys. Number 1, public speaking is a skill that grows with practice and preparation. You've got to continue to practice. You've got to continue to speak. The more you do it, the better you're going to get. Number 2, confidence is built through small, consistent improvements. Don't try to be Les Brown today. Matter of fact, don't try to be Les Brown. If you see some things that he does that you like, maybe pick up something here or there, but be you. And be gracious, about yourself. Number 3, effective delivery involves both verbal and nonverbal communication. If you are an excellent speaker, but your body language is very confusing as well as distracting, you've got to tone down the body language or no one will ever hear your message. Number 4, emotional connection through storytelling. You got to be a good storyteller. One of the things I love to do, one of the things that helps calms me, here's a pro tip. If you are a nervous speaker, start off with a story. A story is something that calms you and it calms your audience. It gets you into a rhythm and it's something you don't have to rehearse. You know the story. It happened to you. I always like to tell stories when I'm in front of an audience, particularly if I'm nervous, because it puts me in a place of control, not of the audience necessarily, but of myself. Because once I get comfortable behind the mic and once I, get comfortable on the stage or on the Zoom or wherever I'm speaking, then I can get into the actual meat and potatoes. Okay? And then lastly, reflection and feedback are crucial for growth. So places like Toastmasters or recording yourself or getting a mentor or becoming a protege of someone is all appropriate, but be open to feedback. Let it be constructive, not just critical, but constructive. It's got to be something that if you make a change, it can benefit you. You don't want to sacrifice your self-confidence because someone doesn't like the way that you pronounce your R's. That's not constructive. That's critical. If your hands are in front of your mouth and no one can hear you speak, then that is constructive, not critical. Okay? So you got to distinguish between the two. Don't sacrifice your self-confidence to be the speaker someone else wants you to be. Be productive, be gracious to yourself. And guys, I hope you really learned something today. I feel like this is a skill set, a soft skill set that if you learn it, it can take you very, very far. Thank you so much for listening. Share, like, and subscribe, particularly with this podcast. If you know someone it can benefit, share with your family, friends, loved ones, and associates. And I will see you next time. Thanks.